All right, guys. Hey, Sam here. This is Vertcoin to Bitcoin. I've got a 1 hour chart here on Poloniex. Now, this is turning out to be just a beautifully trading coin. This has been a good money maker for all of my group, and we continue to do well here. And it's the reason is it's trading technically. So we have the advantage of putting a roadmap on this, and then if anything, we're getting pleasantly surprised to the upside. And there's no reason to anticipate that this won't continue to trade technically, based on what we're seeing here. So now, let's put this in context, though. It's looking at here on a 1 hour chart. Be sure you reference the scale of where it's been. So let's go back now. Here it is on a daily chart, right? So we're just getting started, I guess is what I'm trying to say. If this and alts are going to really start to move here, we got a whole lot of blue sky up here, or blank chart, you might say it that way. But from the prior high at, I'm sure that was the ICO, to where we are now, we're just getting rolling. So be sure to keep some relative context, because you can lose that perspective. If you're looking over here, it looks like everything is moving dramatically, but we're just getting rolling. So, all right, I know there's a lot on this chart, so we can start to break this down. So we have now, so if you focus here on yellow, so we have this 1, 2, we have the big 3. Now, we've seen this a lot across the whole cryptosphere over the last couple of weeks. We're getting these truncated C's. Because of the strength of the market, we are getting the A, B, C, but the C is not getting to new lows, and you're seeing that all over the place, from Bitcoin to, name your alt, to here we sit in Vertcoin. Now, from that, and you can see the night. Look how beautifully the Vegas wave has caught this on every swing low. Just 1, 2, 3. No reason to expect that not to continue. It's just been beautifully technical. Now I've got on this the pitchfork here. This is the modified Schiff pitchfork, and you can tell it's the modified Schiff because here's the 50% in price, and you can see that we've gone over in time by 50%. So that gives you your median line, and you can see how we hit it here to the tick, to and through. We clustered around it, but that will be the magnet for the market as it comes up here, if we're going to continue to roll here to complete this fifth. And we've got targets that are significantly higher. We don't want to try and project a fifth just yet, because we're not exactly sure. Are we off here yet? Is this 1 of 5 or is this 5 of 5? Hard to say where we are. So you keep these off to the side and let the market show its hand. Right now, we can see that we've completed. Let me open it up a little bit. So in green here, here's the higher time frame count that we're working off of here. So we get from our C wave here, which is our 4 wave of the largest time frame that we're using, we get the 1, 2, then we get this nice subdivision. You see it here in white, up to complete the third. Right, so here was the algo target from this pull here, from swing low to high. Here was the algo target. We go 2 through, but we get our resolution here. So then we get the profit taking. Now here we get a deep A. There's our B, and then we finish with a C right to the Vegas wave, and we stay. We actually get a tick or two through this B wave high, which is just structurally, this is our previous resistance offering support right at the Vegas wave, right at the 618. So that's our turn for potentially what's now our 4th of 5. Right, so we're trying to complete. Here's our 4th. We're trying to get 1, 2, 3. Here's the deep 4. Doesn't overlap the 1. Now we're going up in a 5 wave sequence to complete this 5th of 5. Right, and then relative to the longer term scale, that'll be just completing a 1 of 2, 3, 4, 5. So a lot of upside here. Now looking at this where we sit right now, if you're not long off of this, and I know some of my private clients are, but if you're not long off of that, well, you're waiting here for the 2, and we may have just seen it here, but we do know. So I'm going to take this off just to declutter the chart for the sake of this video here. So we know we've got right now this 4 looks solid. So we're now looking for a 5 wave sequence. So let me put the wave on just to clarify what I'm saying. So we're looking for our 2. Now we may have had it here. Note, the median line here catching the edge of that. Ideally, we'd want the 2 to come down a little bit lower, and between the 3 and the 4 would be just perfect. Sometimes the market's not going to give you perfect, but if I just draw from my swing low here to what is currently this high, well, we've gone to the 3.8, which would be a shallow 2, but as strong as this market is, that's it doesn't disqualify it. That would be ideal, and we may, nothing says we rip higher here. We may come back down. We might see a little more subdivision here to get this coming over here. We don't know yet, but the market's been very strong. So right now, that would be the primary count. We still, this low has to hold because there's the possibility that we'd come down and this 4 is too soon. We'd push this over as an alternate. We'd have an A, a B, and we'd come down for a C of some sort here because we've got our one wave is way down, or pardon me, our one wave on that count is right here. So we have some depth to which we could reach on that 4th, but how will we know? Well, this looks impulsive on the 1 hour. It looks like we've got the subdivision that works. If we take out this high and we start to hit some of these fib targets, then we know we've got a 1-2. But that's one. I wouldn't be buying it right here off of that. For me, I want to be a buyer down here between the 50 and the 618. We may come back down and get that chance to get it. Now, note that we are now outside of the median line's edge here. So you have one of two choices. If I highlight it here, now we can put on the 1.5 and see how that holds it, and you can see that to the tick here. So that seems like a good edge. So not unreasonable that we might come back here and look at that and test that 1.5, and that would be that would be absolutely textbook perfect. Here's the swing high as the structural support, the 618, 65 pocket, the outside edge here, the Vegas wave. That's ideal. Well, right now, for all we know, this is just going to continue to rip. So if you're not in, you're waiting for that, or you're waiting for this to clarify so we know where that next pivot is. We've got a possible pivot here. But the 382 gives me a little bit of caution as to whether or not we're complete there. Again, it's been the demand has been so strong here. You can see here the structure of the 3rd potentially offering that support at the 50. So these you want to mark these out and just leave them on your chart until you've moved far beyond them. There's no reason to take them off. Each one potentially offering a structural clue as to where we are. So if you look here, this box lines up with everything that we're looking at. So looking at the box here, this is where I draw mine. So I've got the structure here, I've got the structure here, I've got the 50 and the 618 and the 1.5 and the median line likely the Vegas wave likely moving up a little bit higher to offer that support there. So it may be that we've already done the retracement we're going to do. Ideally, we'd come back one more time and offer you an opportunity to get long there, and you can see a nice target up here. That would be the -100, which would structurally give us a visit back to the median line, which will work as a magnet for this and offer the opportunity for the 3. Then we're looking for the 4 at the outside edge or at the 1.5 again. Then if we do that, then we would mark that swing high because we don't want that 4 to overlap. So that gives us some idea of where we might be. So you lay out a roadmap here. This is the ideal entry. We're looking for it. It may be that we're going to miss it, but that's where my orders are, trying to get it long here, looking for this as a first target. You can either bank it there, or you look to add here, looking for more upside. That's trader's choice. And again, staying open to the possibility that we don't want to lock in on this because if we come lower, it doesn't invalidate. So you have the alternate right here on the same chart. So you have 2 potential roadmaps, all of them, at least at this point, implying higher prices. So good structure there. It's been incredibly technical so far. No reason to think that won't continue. Clearly, there's algo activity. The volume's been huge. I'm getting hit from all sorts of people asking me to review this. So this is one you want to watch, and the expectation is that it continues to trade technically. All right, guys, that's it on that one.